Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't have the names of the crimes. Thank you for your presentation.
God bless. Thank you so much.
My name is Jessica Saxon. I'm a civil rights advocate and litigator from Washington, D.C. I'm here to provide public notice. This is in accordance with USCS Rules of Civil Procedure, as well as Rule 20 and Rule 17 of the United States Supreme Court. The Constitution for the United States is the overarching requirements that every state must follow. I don't think any one of you here would disagree with that. States are not able to enact their own alternative legislation and substitute it for the guarantees of the Constitution. That would mean that your state laws are in fact more powerful than the Constitution, and that is unlawful. Clause 1 of Amendment 5 to the United States Constitution says that no person should be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on presentment or indictment by a grand jury. However, the state of South Carolina, unfortunately, has enacted its own alternative legislation to be able to charge by way of information as opposed to indictment, and that is unlawful. An emolument violation is when you pay a public official to break the law. There are two areas of the Constitution that reinforces this. The first is Article 1, Section 10, where it says that no state shall create any law that shall impair the obligation of a contract. So police officers, prosecutors, judges, they're all under a contract to perform based on the oath or affirmation that they took. These contract perimeters are defined within the Constitution of the United States. So when a state enacts a law that directs their agents to disobey that law, that is a violation of Article 1, Section 10. The 14th Amendment is the other place that you find the reinforcement of this issue, and that's where it states that no state shall create or enforce any law that shall abridge the privileges and immunities of United States citizens. Privileges and immunities of United States citizens are at a minimum those that are enumerated within the Bill of Rights and the first 10 amendments. Mr. Tanoa Downing is preparing to litigate this issue at the United States Supreme Court on behalf of more than 700,000 people currently imprisoned here in America unconstitutionally and unlawfully. I'm here today to provide notice that you cannot continue to pay public officials to commit crimes against us. I'm asking you honorable individuals, please take a look at Clause 1, Amendment 5. Confirm what I'm saying to be true. Direct your public officials to act in a lawful, constitutional manner consistent with the obligations that are codified in the Constitution of the United States. I do have a notice that I would like to put on the record. I encourage you to please take some time to read through this and educate yourself on the things that we're talking about today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, do we have the documents that you're
She's about to
referring
give it to us.
Okay.
My name is Tanoa Downing. I'm the civil rights litigator that Ms. Saxon was just talking about. I'm here because I just want to provide a little bit of clarification for you guys so that you can better understand what it was that we just said. So I have approximately 12,000 criminal affidavits on behalf of affected victims from here in the state of South Carolina. A number of them are from within this city itself. So when the police choose to rely upon an inferior state statute that directs them or permits them to charge improperly in violation of the Constitution of the United States, a crime has been committed. It is Title 18, subsection 242. It's called deprivation of rights under color of law. What that statute says, it says that any person who, under the color of any state statute, ordinance, custom, or regulation, deprives any person of any rights secured by the Constitution, commits that crime. Now, this is a per se crime, which means that we don't have to prove that they intended to breach their obligations simply by virtue of the constitutional obligation breach. All elements of crime have been met because their willfulness and their knowledge derives from promise that they make. Now, there's a second crime that's identified within these affidavits, and that is Title 18, subsection 241, which is conspiracy to deprive of rights. That's when two or more persons conspire with the purpose of depriving any person of any rights secured by the Constitution. So when the judge conspires with the prosecutor and the sheriff's deputy, whoever it might be that's going out and performing the arrest, they're all engaged in this action, right? I'm not here to get anybody into trouble. That's not what this is about. We're asking you guys to please, let's take a look at the Constitution. Let's recognize its authority, its supremacy, and let's choose to willfully obey it. Because the alternative is that we would have to start converting these criminal affidavits into criminal complaints, and we don't want to go down that path. Now, the law of criminal conspiracy with regard to public officials, what that states is it says that any person who, having knowledge of any of the wrongs conspired to be done, and who have the power to prevent or aid in the prevention of the commission of the same, neglects or refuses to do so, may be joined in spending the action. Upon having been provided this notice, I would ask you guys to please, let's go ahead and correct these unlawful acts by either one, discontinuing paying your agents to go out and enforce a law that's in violation of the Constitution, or 2, direct those agents to act in a lawful constitutional manner consistent with their obligations. Now, I'm not saying that these are good people. I'm not saying that these are lawful people. But what I am saying is that these are all rightful people who all have a right that the city's agents have clearly abridged, and we need to stop doing that. All right. So I know that you're going to go and you're going to ask your city attorney whether or not what I'm saying is true. And that city attorney is going to point you to a Supreme Court case from 1884 called Hurtado versus California. And before you guys choose to rely upon that as the foundation, I want to remind you that the Constitution of the United States of America is the foundation, not a judge-made ruling. The Supreme Court of the United States has no constituted authority to be able to alter, amend, or destroy any of the provisions that guarantees the Constitution. That must be done by an authentic act of the people in accordance with the special amending procedure of Article 5. Furthermore, judges have no authority to be able to legislate. That's because all legislative power must be vested in Congress of the United States, consistent with Senate and House representatives. So I implore you, please step up, discharge the duties of your office, fulfill the obligations and promises that you made people of the state of South Carolina. God bless. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I just had one question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you identify the areas and crimes where folks are being arrested, where these are trending? Like, where are those specific areas?
Unfortunately, this is a systemic issue that's been ingrained into the system. This has happened over a long period of time, and I
What
can't.
particular crimes? Like, so each arrest, is it?
So the Constitution says no person shall be held for a capital or an infamous crime. Capital crime is any crime that's punishable by a death. That's very, very easy. An infamous crime is defined by Title 18, subsection 4083, as any crime punishable by more than 1 year imprisonment in a penitentiary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't have the names of the crimes. Thank you for your presentation.
God bless. Thank you so much.
Shackles of the mind, they tighten like a python. Whispers of deceit got the weak minds to fight on. Burning bridges ain't destruction, it's construction. Tear the lies down, rebuild with eruption. Break the chains of illusion, see through the fraud. March them feet to freeborn land, bruised and flawed. Love ain't soft, love is fiery and volatile. Destroy to restart, truth stands on no trial.
Preachers sling sermons, their tongues dripping venom. But we ain't buying their scripts, we condemn them. False doctrine topple, crumble like a sand wall. Burn the delusion, hear the freedom call.
Woman's voice rises, harmony like a riot. Male vocals growl through the thunder, can't stay quiet. Combo like a storm, disrupting the peace fraud. Freedom march, foot